Yep, I'm gonna share it right here to my
All
page.
right, here we go again. Welcome back to CrossCourt Conversations. Today we'll be discussing our top 5 Hmong volleyball setters. Okay, and our guest, you guys already know, my setter, um, Joel Moua. What's up, Joe?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's
You
all
got your
going on,
list?
Joe?
You got your list? You gonna hurt some feelings today?
I'm pretty sure I am, but hey, it's my list, not theirs, man.
Yeah.
It's always up for debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get started and rolling, I just want to send some thoughts and some shaman prayers to Will and I, our uncle. He's going through some COVID stuff. So thoughts and prayers to him and the family. He's our uncle. We grew up with him, and that goes to everybody else who's going through any hardships during this pandemic. So
Most definitely, man.
Yeah. So that being said, we'll just jump right into it. Joe, let's get your opinion on what actually is the role of the setter.
So my thoughts of the role of the setter is leadership. You gotta have that. I think accountability plays in that role as well, because you're gonna be the setter touches the ball about 80% of the time, because he's always the second ball guy, so he's about 80% of the time. So, man, it's there's a lot of things that plays in that position. You gotta be a fast thinker. You gotta make quick decisions. You gotta be very observant as well, and you gotta be very confident. In that role. Not a lot of good setters come out every 5 years. From what I've seen, maybe only one or two you see every 5 years that come out really good. That's why there's so little of setters in HVB. You don't see a lot of setters that stay setting for a very long time.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do you think they don't stay steady for it?
Honestly, I mean, maybe because they're not winning.
Yeah.
They're not, or maybe they just want to go to like flag football was pretty hot that time as well. There's also basketball. So I think there's other sports out there that they would rather be playing.
Yeah, in my opinion, like the setter, especially playing with you, I play with a lot of good setters. During my playing years, I had Gurr coming up. I had my brother for a little bit, and then I had you, Joel, and then I had New, and I had Yi from NWO, and Tubbs. So I had a lot of good setters. In my opinion, the role that you guys play is always like setting us up. You know what I mean? Like you always, I have to like when I play with my younger brother, who's more inexperienced at setting, I tend to like tell him like, okay, you got to set it up. Okay, we're gonna run this. You know what I mean? Whereas like when I'm playing with you, Joel, I feel like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for him, wait for him to call the plays and whatnot. You know what I mean? So that's in my opinion. I think that's the setter. What not just solely what he does, but I think one of his biggest role is to kind of position his players, in the best position so they can succeed.
Yeah. I see it as both your points are very valid, and for sure. I also see it from a different aspect where the setter is like the game caller, You know what I mean? You know how football, they have like, you know, coaches who call the plays in and execute them. I think the setter, they kind of call the game. And sometimes you see like, you know, I guess they got to know like which play to call and what situation. And I think it is like kind of what you guys said too, but the setter, they got to know every situation, it seems like how many times my hitters have hit out, how many times is my hitter hot, is my hitter cold, all those things run through their mind. And it's just crazy how much like a setter processes. You know what I mean? Because they got to know where everything is on the court, got to make sure all the players are in the correct spot. And on the top side of that too, they got to know what the other side is doing as well too, and how they're playing as well too. So there's a lot that goes into setting. A lot of people just see it as, well, I can set the ball, so I'm a setter. But experienced setter and great setters take the game to another level where they're actually calling the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
That makes sense.
It's crazy. It's crazy because, you know, us coming up, you know, the setter was always like the cerebral one. You know what I mean? Nowadays, you know, they pick out the weakest link and tell them, go set so I can hit. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't think that. You know what I mean? Right? It's all like it's opposite now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what do you think? What's the importance of like a team having a good setter?
Importance of a team having a good setter, it's kind of like what you're saying. You know, the importance of a good setter is kind of what you said. You know, they set them up, you know, for achievement in the court. If you don't have a good setter, you're not gonna be able to kill the ball, you know, or be there. It's more like miscommunication. If you don't have a good setter, you're gonna run into a lot of miscommunications, you know. And then also, you know, it's run that offense, kind of what Will talked about. You know, he's basically the quarterback. You know, he's got to call the plays. You know, most setters, they do a lot of observing. You know, you have to watch the blockers. You know, you got to understand, all right, who's got the tallest blockers, who's got the shortest blockers. You know, which way are you going to set that ball to that person to give him the best opportunity?
Right.
That's important.
What Joe, can you answer this? Good setter, decent hitters, or decent setter, good hitters? Which one is more important?
I think it will probably have to be.
I'm gonna say the setter is the most important position because I play it, right, Joe?
Honestly, I think a really good setter can take a decent team of hitters.
Yeah.
You know, to where they need to be, because decent hitters can also achieve their best asset from playing with a good setter to actually reach their prime. You know, I've seen guys where the first 3-4 years they're not there. All of a sudden, you know, like years, you know, they just kind of explode, you know, into a different player. You know, and then I've seen a lot of good hitters on one team where their setter was pretty good, but not as good as their original setter, and they don't really make it as far as you would expect them to go. And you would see a lot of miscommunications also in setting. And this is the way I feel. I feel a good setter with decent hitters. I think they will stick together longer, build a better team chemistry, and I think they will make it further.
Because I've seen like for example, like Yuleng. I see Yuleng play with just so setters and see him struggle. You know what I mean? I'm just like, dang, like how is that even possible for a guy like that to struggle? You know?
You're right.
But
You're right.
But right when you put like a decent setter in there, a good setter in there, man, he's just like on another level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, man, look, the bottom line is the setter touches the ball the most, man. And if you have a good setter, your team is going to be all right. You know what I mean? I mean, getting a good setter on board, dude, that's half the battle already, because they touch the ball all the time. And if they can call a game and they know what they're doing, man, dude, it's all good right there.
So yeah, in my opinion, like if I was like a GM, if I was to start a team, I'll be like, okay, who's my setter first? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it should not be okay, who's my main hitter? I would be like, who's my setter first? Do you guys agree?
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Because then what kind of personnel you can acquire, with the setter that you have, right?
Yes.
Now let me get this, man. I was never a good player or a great player or anything like that, but I kind of feel like hitters are like a dime a dozen, man. You can get them anytime. Like you can hit, all right, go ahead, hit.
Yeah.
Like they're like a dime a dozen. So we were actually paying. If players were actually being paid, I think the highest paid player, I believe, would be the setter. Okay, and I think the hitters, they don't have as much leverage because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Whereas setters, great setters, there's not a lot of them. So I think they would get paid the most if Hmong volleyball players were to get paid.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And we don't even have a hitter in here paying, man. You got
number one draft pick. No, I still maintain like without a great setter, like especially Joel and I remember playing with Gurr, and then I think there was like a hiatus there where I went to play with like Illinois and NWO, and I was just lost. You know what I mean? That was more like I don't know what I was doing those years, but it was more like but
it is kind of like it's like a connection too, man. Like if you can connect with a setter, man, it's over. I mean, dude, you guys don't have to like,
because it is that too. Yeah, because it's not like I didn't play with great setters. They were great setters. It's just I didn't connect with them. You know what I mean? Because I remember playing with them, and then that was when I was going through my shoulder issues too, and I just could not play, and I did not have confidence at all. And then I remember Joe hit me up to go play as GTO July 4th, and I remember, we just hit it off. You know what I mean? It was like it took us a couple games, but.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we got hot, it was like, damn,
games.
yeah. But it's that muscle memory, I think I came off of like, oh man, I don't know if I trust him. And then when I fully immersed myself, I was like, that's my setter, man. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna throw it up. I gotta be there. You know what I mean? Because I was so used to like the set not being there all the time.
Right.
To the point where when I came back and played with Joe, I didn't trust him. You know what I mean? And then I was like, you know what? That's my setter. And then we started to pick it up. Because I don't think when we played that July 4th, I don't think Joe did anything different. It was my mentality. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's my setter. I just gotta trust him. So with that being said, Joe, what do you think are the keys to being an effective setter?
Trust, man. You gotta trust. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta trust your hitters. The key is communication as well. You gotta talk to them. Kind of like what you said. We didn't play with each other for like 4 or 5 years, and then I hit you up one day. But hey, you want to go play up in July 4th with GTO? You're right. It took us a couple games, but then we just had to build that trust and that communication skill back up. And then it was game on. But I believe trust, communication. You gotta talk to hitters. You can't just come in and expect to trust them right away either. You gotta have that communication piece, and once you get that down, then that's when that trust comes.
That's for sure. And you know what? Like, I think not every setter is for every hitter as well, too. You know what I mean? Like, I play with my brother here, and every time I said to him, he has bad games, dude. So I'm like, it don't work like that, man. Every time I said to him, he has like bad game. He gets blocked all the time. It was like, man, dude, you're not for me, bro. Our relationship ain't working, man.
Because my go-to set might be different from your go-to set.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Right. But if you look at the top, like I guess like the top 5 teams in like Hmong volleyball, and you look at their setters, their setters are like, I would be willing to bet some money their setter are pretty darn good.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot win with just like, you know, like a setter, like a regular old setter who could just set the ball, because there's more to it than just going in there and having good hands and doing your thing.
Yeah.
You know, you got to actually call the game, see the game in a different point of view where your setters don't even, I mean, your hitters don't even see it, and you're just like giving them tips and pointers. This is what you need to do. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I started off as a setter, so I kind of understand like from a setter's view, you know what I mean? Like, you know, with me and Joe, I always told Joe like it was never him, it was my fault. I can always adjust, you know what I mean? Because as a setter for me, like if a dude comes up to me and like, hey, can you set it like right here, not there, but right here, I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna set you, bro. you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he comes up to me, if I set one and he hits into a net and he looks at me and if he says, my bad, you know what I mean? Then I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, I might, yeah, that was a bad set. I might give you a better one next time. You know what I mean? But all right, let's head right into our top 5, okay?
Okay, here we go. The debate.
Before we do that,
oh man,
I'll just name off a few names that we were working off on. Obviously, Tuho, Joel, Yi from Traders, B, her from KO, Kayeng or Jesse from Wiseman, or KO. I think he was there for KO in their first year. Gur from No Mercy, Buddha from Airborne, Ban from Paifa, Joa from Infamous, Fusu from Midwest or Ghost Shadow, Gerbil, Hangover, Terry, Jumpman, Yi from NWO, Ku, Primetime, G from Elements, Cameron from Team Cali. I love how that dude sets, man. Tusu from Critical, Ku Lore from Rivals, or High Five, right, Will?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Ka's original setter. Ka said.
The ladies team. Yep.
Yeah. Yer from Chaos. New More from SmackDown, the Minnesota SmackDown. Pet. Raven. From Drifters. Song from Drifters. And then Min. Baneng, I don't know who he plays for, but he bump set the shit out of it though. I see him set bump set one ball to Yang, man. So that's gotta count for something.
Gotta count.
So Laos
Dude,
from Defy.
He's known everywhere.
Terry from Team Cali, their other set, the Vietnamese setter, and then Bo for MVP, and then whoever I missed, just put it down in the comments. I'm sure I missed tons and tons of other setters. You know, I didn't purposely do it. It's just, man, that's a long list. That's 27 names I just named out. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So.
Man, you named 27 players, man. I'm kind of mad. I'm not on one of those lists, bro. Man. I'm probably on the C team, dude.
Minimum of 5 years played.
I only played 2 years, man.
I got guys I want to add on that list. I got my brother Peng from.
Oh dang, bro! Peng's gonna be so mad at me. I truly forgot. My bad, Peng. Dang.
I don't know if you guys know, but I got Justin from the Crew from Minnesota.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know Justin, but he played a different team before the Crew. I forgot what they were called. But yeah, I got him as well.
Yeah, I feel so bad missing.
Peng, man, dude. Setting runs in your family. It seems like,
bad, bro.
That's setters. It's all good. Man, you played with the Labor Day tournament.
I know we played. Well, we played a few times. I think we played. I remember we played in lacrosse too. When you didn't, I don't think you were there, but he set for us in lacrosse. We went pretty far too.
Hey, before we get started, man, I want to get a lot of respect to all the volleyball players out there, man. I think like 3-4 years ago, I just filled in a tournament. It was like I played with one of my cousins. They played a team. They didn't have it set. I went in there. Man, we only played like 2 games. Man, I was sore for a freaking week, dude. I was like, God damn, that's a lot of work, man. So a lot of respect. It is no joke. So if you think you can just like walk off the street, get on the court and think you have it or think you could dominate, it don't work like that.
Yeah. So but shout out to all these guys that we named off. You know, all these guys play at a high level. You know, we might not pick you, but no disrespect. Just come on the show and talk your smack, okay? So that being said, Joe, you want to go first?
We'll have the guest of honor go first.
All right, so if you guys don't mind, I have 2 lists. So the reason why I have 2 lists because the first list are guys that when I first started coming up and I either idolized or I took part of their game with mine and I mixed in with my game and people that I just look up to. And then the second list are, because, I left to Georgia for about 4 or 5 years. So I was away from the Midwest game for a while. And then when I came back to play back in the Midwest, there were new setters that I thought that were really good when I came back that second half of me playing volleyball. So I'm going to go with my first top 5. It's
start from 5, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, my first top 5.
All right. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you. Is one team better than the other, or are they just like 2 teams? Is it like a team A, team B, or how's this work, man?
Well,
or is it just 10?
It's just era, right?
It's basically top. You can put them all together as my top 5.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, kind of like different eras.
Okay. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like different eras. Okay. So the first era, you guys already know, I hold Tu-Ho as number 1. He'll always be number 1 to me. So I got Tu-Ho number 1. I love watching Jesse as well. I think we had a chance to play them a couple of times when I was playing with Hurricanes. And that guy's just crazy, man. Kayeng from Wiseman.
The hands, the quickness.
At 2?
That's 2. Okay. At 2, yep. And then I have Gur when I was coming up as a rookie as well. And
legend.
that guy tricked me out in the court when he played against him. So he's my number 3. And number 4, I actually have Terry from Jumpman. Yeah, that guy. If you weren't paying attention, somebody's gonna hit you with that volleyball because man, he gets guys either open shots or one-on-ones all the time. And I've seen it. I've seen it before, so I know. And then I'm not trying to be biased, but my brother Peng, he's my number 5. Being in a family of volleyball players, I actually watched him a lot more than all these other guys.
Yeah.
So I took a lot from him. But the reason why I got him as my top 5 is because he can also bump set.
Yeah.
And hand. He can do both. And he does it pretty consistently too. So that's another reason why I choose him as my top 5 because you know what, I can't bump set. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't bump set. I can't bump set. I only hand set. So
you're pretty good at bump setting.
But that's my top 5. But like I said, that's my list.
So before Georgia?
When I first started.
Yeah,
before Georgia.
That's an old school list, man. I like that list.
That's an old school list. But like I said, these guys are the guys I looked up to, and I observe a lot. I watch their games a lot. Yeah. And I take some of their assets into my skills.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys want to hear my second list?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, okay.
So this list is when you came. Wait, this list is like the newer list, like the newer generation. Is that what this is?
The new list of when I came back.
Okay.
When I started back, I think playing back in like 08, 09.
Okay.
I came back to play a little bit in the Midwest at that time. These guys, I think some of these guys were actually hitters.
Yeah.
Actually, these guys were hitters. Some of them were hitters before they transitioned over to setters, and they're actually really good in my eyes. Number one on my list would be Fusu. Fusu for Emmy. And what team is he playing for right now? I forgot what team he's playing. The name of the team he's playing for right now.
Overkill?
No, he played with Ghost Shadow, and then he played with who's the new team?
Overkill?
Yeah, Overkill. Yeah. And then the second setter would be Ricky, that played with Emmy as well.
Oh, yeah.
From Minnesota. Yeah, I got Ricky as number 2. And then I have Yi as my number 3 from Traders.
Yeah.
And then I got Gerbil from Milwaukee as my number 4. Yeah. And then number 5, I got Cooley from Primetime.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my top 5 for the second half of when I came back.
Okay.
Great list, man.
Yeah. All great players, man.
Yep.
I think Gerbil's pretty underrated, man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He is. But the new up and comer setter that I really like is Cameron from Team County, that young guy.
Yeah, I know.
Setter.
Yeah.
He's the new up and coming setter that's gonna. I think if he stays the right course, I think he is gonna be the guy, like the setter that everybody has to watch out for.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
set any ball from anywhere.
So smooth with it too, man.
Yeah, he is, man.
Will?
But yeah, that's my list.
That's a great list, man. But damn, dude, you're so close, man. I'm telling you guys, I am undefeated on these shows, man. Because I always have the cheat sheet in front of me right here. I'm setting you guys up. No, man, that's a great list. You got some great players. We're gonna leave out, or I'm gonna leave out a whole bunch of players that were way better than me. So I mean, for me to just put this list, it's like, man, I'm just thankful that I have the privilege and the platform to put this list on. So without further ado, I'm gonna start with 5 and then going all the way to 1. Okay. Yeah. So with 5, I'm gonna go with the man sitting right there, Joel. Yo, you're my top 5, dude. You broke my list. 5, great hands, great anticipation. Man, you name it, like any set from anywhere, from any spot, in any weather condition. Hey, we forget sometimes that weather plays a lot into it, right, Joe?
Yes, it does.
Like, and as a setter, those windy days, dude, you like, oh my God, my passer can't pass. I can't do. Oh my God.
Y'all should have seen Joe set in the rain, man. He sat in the rain like as if it was no rain at all, dude. No slippage, no nothing, bro. Man, that's crazy. I've never seen that.
I actually like the rain because the ball is really heavy, so you can kind of like hold it a little bit and put it where you want it. But I'm telling you, the weather is highly underrated, man. Like, especially when your passers are a little bit shaky, you're just like, oh my goodness. So, and then the wind would take the ball too. So Job, set from anywhere, any place. You're my number 5. Okay. Yep. And then number 4 is gonna be Cool from Primetime. Again, anywhere, any place. It seems like he always calls like a good, solid game, and his teams are always competitive. And same with Joe as well too. Like, I think with Joe, like any team that he plays for, they're always going to be competitive.
I think Cool had more talent though.
I think so too. I think he did have more talent. You know what I mean? More bullets.
Yeah.
More bullets in his gun. So for sure. So Cool's gonna be my number 4. Now my number 3 setter is gonna be Fusu. I think like he just like, I don't know if he's like underrated or whatever, but I think he's highly underrated as a setter. Just calling the game. Just always calm demeanor and calling the game, knowing what he's doing at all time. It seems like he knows his hitters, and again, he can set from anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, a lot of talent on his team too. Like Cool, yeah.
And then number 2 is gonna be Song. That's Lang's brother from Drifters. Those Drifters years, man, that guy was on point, man. He like knew all his hitters. They ran all the plays. His set was always on point. And it seemed like he always knew who to go to at the right time. Like, it seemed like he never just went to one particular player, but he went with whoever was hot or whoever gave like the best option. It seemed like there was like a lot of math going on in his head. He knew the percentages. It seemed.
Yeah, he had that delay release. You know what I mean? He'll delay it and then let the blockers commit, and then he'll just flick it to where it's open. Yeah, that was a badass.
Yeah. And then of course the number one, the Godfather. I think. I mean, if there wouldn't be any imagination if this dude wasn't on the list. I'm gonna put myself there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put Tu Hoa as my number one setter, man. I think that he kind of emphasized like what a setter is, man. Like he makes it look cool. He makes it. He put the swag in it. He put like I think he's like a combination of all these setters into one. He has like the hands of Joe, the brain of probably like a Fusu or a Song, and then he has like the calmness and the heart of like Ku. So he's like all combined into one. So
that dude's like the prototype.
For sure. So that's my top 5 right there, man.
Okay. So
that's a good list.
So my list, I have kind of like my criteria was like, leadership and just carrying the team, and depending on what the teams were, obviously. So at my number 5, I have my own setter, Joel. He carried us. We were trash players. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
want to say trash.
The other players, they might not think they're trash, but we were trash. and having Joel, made us like a competitive team. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say a great team, but it made us competitive. If we were great players, if Joel would have the talent of like a prime time or like an Emmy or whatever, I mean, they would take off just like any other setters, But yeah, he had to be stuck with us trash ass dudes. But
you wasted his career, man. No wonder.
Yeah, I know. Just so that fact alone, I have him at number 5. Number 4, I have New Moore from SmackDown. She was a true leader, man. Like, to bring up all her little nieces. When they started, all those little girls were just like little teenagers, man. And to carry that team with her mentality and her will and, just, her vision, and to carry that team to like J4 finals over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? I give her props, man. She's legit. Number 3, I'm kind of conflicted. So I have Ku and Bo. So
man.
I don't know
That's
who to
like
choose.
Teacher and student right there, man.
Yeah, I don't know who to choose.
Choose the teacher. Without the teacher, there'll be no student.
Yeah, so I might have to go with the teacher, but the student is really, really up there too. The student has surpassed the teacher. So yeah, Ku or Bo, I don't know, man. You guys decide in the comments. I don't want to be responsible, even though it's my list. And and then and 2 and 1 and 2, I feel like is 1A, 1B. I have Tu Hoa and Pat from Raven. I feel like those two are generational. You know what I mean? Like, they have set for generations, and they've carried their style of play. It transitioned and translated through generations and generations of volleyball. You know what I mean? Like
that's a good list.
Yeah, you look at Pat, and I think that one year they came back with Wolfpack, and I was like, that's still like his system, you know what I mean? And they were still in top 4.
Yeah.
You look at Tu Hoa, even his sons now, they try to mimic the way he set, and you know what I mean? So his system is still,
it's
still in play, you know what I mean? And that same thing with Bo and Ku, you know what I mean? That's why it's kind of hard to choose
Man, dude, had I known that you and Joe were gonna do this, dude, I would have copped out like you too, man. My God. First of all, we said top 5. Joe came in with a 10 list. You came in like 8 players. I'm like, man, come on.
Oh man.
Threw me under the bus, man.
Yeah,
now I'm gonna look like an ass.
Yeah, fine. If I just had to go with it, okay. I would go Pet number 1, Duhua number 2. That number 3, man. That number 3, I would go with Koo, because Koo is more of a true setter. Then 4 New, then 5 Joel. Yeah. With the gun pointed to my head, I would do that.
Oh man.
I think either or is a great list, man. I was just teasing both you guys, man. I'm glad that you guys made those lists and named those players, because I missed on all the players, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna do start bench and cut.
Man, ready.
Start bench and cut.
I already went through this one time.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do Chuning, Kayi, or Bobby Joe. Right side, all right side, all weak side.
Oh man. Oh man.
We gotta hurt some feelings today.
Oh man, I ain't gonna hurt no feelings, man. It's just volleyball, man.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. You might.
Dude, don't.
I'm only going with experience of. I want to play with 2 of those guys, but then the other, experience of watching, Gaye as well. He was beast straight up. So Gaye would be my starting guy.
Gaye would be the starting guy, huh? Okay.
My starting guy.
What's up, Appleton Finest?
But and then between Janae and Bobby Joe. Sorry, Bobby, man. I had to cut.
It's so shorts, man. I told him.
I knew you were the only reason why is because I think that I didn't have enough time with Bobby as well to develop him over there. Yeah. I think that if I would have we would have spent more time together on that weak side. Yeah. He would have been a big threat. I mean, he was a threat. I ain't gonna lie. He had a lot of one-on-ones or nobody open shots. So I think it just comes down to not enough training with him, not enough practice with him. So Janae will have to be. I'm gonna sit Janae because he sprained his ankle in Minnesota that Friday before we went to play July 4th. He kind of proved that. What did he do? Yeah.
Did he fall down that hill?
No,
he went to Phelan Park, right?
Yeah, he went to go gamble for. And he landed on a girl's shoes.
Oh man!
And that tournament we were there to show the weak side shoot. That was his. That was his play, his ball, his set. That was the year that he was supposed to up the team. But he sprained his ankle the day before, and I didn't know what to say.
Freaking goofball, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Junae's the type of player that would like school you in like flip flops, dude. He'll show up to the park in flip flop and just start doing his thing, man.
I remember another time we went up. It was like me, New, Steve, Danny from Live, Yoko, and Hmong and us, and Juneng was supposed to go with us, and I think he sprained his ankle again. Man. I think he did something with his ankle or something with his leg. He was supposed to play with us, and then he did something with himself again. That was
what could have been.
That's goofy, man.
Yes,
could have been.
Could have been.
Should we roll through some of these?
Let's do some questions.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see what some comments, what some of these
questions, guys. Come on, man, hit us up.
Hold on, man. My Wi-Fi is. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Give me a second.
All
right, here we go. I got it. Give me a second right here. read all these sentences and comments and. Hold on.
Bobby Joe, bro.
What do you say?
No, I'm just saying that guy. It's the short shorts, man. I'm saying.
My computer's kind of slow, dude. Can you get in there? Hold on,
yeah, let me see here.
Hold on. All right, here we go.
You got it?
All right, it says, let's see. You know, just a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Let's see. Not really any. Let's see. All right, well, I'm just gonna read some of these comments. I said cool and bold. Yes, thumbs up. Ty.
Ty, that's Bo's brother.
Hold on, dude. Man, dude, this thing is not working.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, while you're going through that, I'm gonna tell y'all a story about our uncle that I just mentioned at the beginning of the show. Our uncle, we grew up in Chicago, and we all lived together. And I remember, I'll tell you the story when he saved our lives. Will probably remembers too. So I was young. Yeah, I think Will was like a junior, senior in high school, and I think this is like the first time we ever got a basketball hoop, and then we set it up in the alley. For all you kids that don't know what alleys are and never grew up in the inner city, man, go Google it. Y'all grow up in like 4 or 5 bedroom homes and whatnot. We grew up, in apartments and alleyways and inner cities and all that. So yeah, so we were hooping in the alley. It was like all of us. It must have been like 11 o'clock. And we were hooping pretty long. And I remember this car pulled up. So our alley is like about a quarter mile long. It's like a whole block. This car pulled up.
I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. This car pulled up at the end of the alley. And what it did was it revved, and then it's hard to explain, but what it did was at the end of the alley, it revved, and it drove real fast and stopped, kept on doing that until it approached us. And then as it was doing that, we kind of just went to our side, to our garage, and was like, what the hell? And it stopped right in front of us. And it was might have been 2, 3 or whatever, but 2 dudes, right? 2 Hispanic dudes. So in our neighborhood, just kind of a little background in our neighborhood, there was like a lot of, refugees. There was like a lot of Vietnamese kids, a lot of Cambodian kids. So it was like, but the thing is with our neighborhood, it was mainly Hispanic gangs. So this is like the worst part to be an Asian in a Hispanic gang related area, you know what I mean? So I remember these 2 Hispanics rolled up and they stopped their car, looked right at us, and was like, and they had broken English, and they had their hand down. We're assuming they were holding their gun or whatever, and they were just looking at us, and they're like, "What's up? What's up?" And we were like, "The hell, we're just playing basketball." And then I remember Will was like, "Dude, what's up, man? We're just playing basketball." And he was like, "What's up?" He was counting 3, 4, 5, what's up? And then our uncle, this dude, right?
He came out with an AK.
Yeah. No, just a little, just a little background on our uncle. Okay, our uncle, he like worked with a bunch of Hispanic dudes, right? So the way he would go to work is these Hispanic guys would come pick him up. He would just jump back in their pickup truck on the bed, there would be like 6 or 7 of them on the bed of the truck, and they just roll out, go to work, and after work they just drop them off. So that's just a little history of him. He pulls up, he comes out to the alley, he looks at these dudes, and he's like, in his broken English, he's like, "What guy doing?" and he gave that look like, "Mofos, I know y'all dads, man." Yeah, he gave that look like, "I know y'all dads, I know y'all leader." And these two was just like, oh, they just drove off. And like I remember it as clear as day, because that's like, we felt like we were gonna get shot up. And this dude just came up in there with his broken English and everything, just saved the day.
Well, it goes to show you, man, much respect to the OGs and parents who actually had like life and death situation when they were trying to escape here. So all this stuff is just nonsense to them. So
to them, they seem worse, you know what I mean? So,
like, come on, dude, stop playing.
All right, you got some questions, some comments?
Yeah, so here's some of the questions. Joe, did you ever wanted to or dream of playing with your brothers in a tournament, like all brother team?
Oh man, honestly, I had dreams of that, man. Because I have 5 brothers, so there's 6 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we all play ball, but we're also like far apart. I think me and my oldest brother, we're about I'll say 15 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
15, close to 20 years. So yeah, I mean, it was a dream of mine when I was coming up. I was able to play with Steven and Eddie, just those 2. And then I think I've played with my brothers before for fun, but on that, I only got a chance to play with Eddie and Steven.
You never play with Peng?
Oh yeah, I did play with Peng. Labor Day, we played different setters. I think that was 2015, 16, around there. Yeah, long time ago. But
all the same to me.
All right, how about this question right here? Joe and Peng, either or, you guys could take it each. Best player from Green Bay and Appleton. So each city. Joe, go ahead.
Best player from Green Bay would, for me, whew, man, that's tough, man, because I have Yang from Airborne and Shong from NWO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those 2 are my 2 top guys in Green Bay, but I wouldn't be able to choose between 1 to 2.
Okay.
They're both different players. And then from Appleton, man, that's tough. Appleton. At that time, who was the best in Appleton, man?
We're always gonna go back to Gert, man.
No, I thought best player would have been what's his name, man? I forgot his name. It was Hana's brother. You guys remember Hana?
Yeah, Tuva.
Tuva. When I was growing up, I thought he was. When I was coming up as a youngster, I thought he was the best player.
Major hops.
Major hops.
Yeah.
That guy was just everywhere, man.
Yeah, I remember just seeing like when he jumped, just seeing like his dirty feet, man. I was like, holy cow, this dude can fly, man.
Yeah, he was a high flyer. Yeah. I thought he was at that time. I thought he was the best player on Appleton.
Yeah.
Green Bay. I would say Ying for me. Although Xiong is a great player.
Yeah.
And then Appleton, I would say Ku Xiong. Yeah.
Oh, Ku. Ku had, think about Ku, I think he's not talked about a lot. Ku had all the shots, man. Like he could control where he's hitting so well. Like he could spot the ball so well. He put it where he wants to. He mastered that part of the game.
Yeah.
So another question is, did you guys play against Zero Gravity? I don't know when, or I think you guys might have played them in the semis, or
I don't know if they were called Zero Gravity or Ravens at that time in 04.
So there's a funny story to it. A story that I would not tell, because a story that was told to me in confidence. I would not share it, but because of that story, they kind of split up and they kind of came in as Ravens and Zero Gravity, and they combined. So it was either or.
So
Zero
you guys woke them
Ravens.
up.
I don't know. Yeah. So we did play against them, right? 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This question is for Joe. Joe, how do you stay so calm under pressure, man? What are you doing?
Me?
Yes.
I'm collecting data, man.
Hosazi,
I don't know, man. I mean, just starting off, you know, I understand that if I'm gonna be hot headed, then that center position is not for you.
Right.
I know that just to be observant and just be confident, you know, just stay calm, because you never know how the game's gonna turn out.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I'm just collecting data, man. I'm collecting data from both teams.
Joe left that hot-headedness to me. That's why I was enough for the whole team.
Keep those questions coming, boys and girls. Okay, Joe, here's another one, man. It's for you. What were some bad habits that your players did that ticked you off, man? Like,
bad habits?
Holding a cigarette in the middle of the court while playing and all that?
Wearing shorts.
I don't think there was a lot of bad habits. Honestly, with all conference, we never drink before the day before the tournaments. You know, with my GTO guys, we actually we did a little bit more drinking, too much at times, and partying. You know that. Yeah. I think we did a little bit too much.
Yeah, beforehand and in between, right?
Beforehand,
we were just kids.
Yeah.
We were just kids as all conference.
All conference, we were just kids. I was the only one that was 21. Everybody was younger than me. I was the only one that could drink, but I didn't drink back then either. So yeah.
All right. Here's another question. Joe, is it true that you made me curse out Josh? This is from Chua.
Nah, it's not true. You know that. So it's funny.
I don't know. Did you?
What's funny is that after Chua hit my set, because I knew Josh and Chua going at it, so I wanted to see if Chua was really gonna show him up. So I actually gave Chua that back shoot, and Chua when he killed that, he actually swore at Josh.
Oh my! So you were there?
Yeah, I was the setter.
What were you thinking about, man? Like, it's about to go down right now? Or
I just thought, you know what? It's the game's intense. My thing is, if you're gonna talk trash in the court, just leave in the court.
Yeah.
But then the thing was, Chua was hype. He was hot, and I was like, you know what? If you're gonna show this guy, then here, I see it. You're gonna get a 1-on-1. I'm gonna give it to you. And Chua was ready. I gave it to him. He said what he said, and then I'm glad that it hyped up Josh as well.
Oh, that's good. And you know what Chua did? Chua welcomed him to the family after. Told you to the vote. Yeah.
But it's funny.
Afterward, true story.
Yeah, the next play, they said to Josh, he went down line and he almost six-packed me. Almost.
Oh my goodness.
And then I was thinking to myself, man, Chua, I just gave you that last set. You didn't block that line shot for me.
that was. At least he could have done was just guard you or something, man. Make it like cross court.
Yeah, but I saw it coming already. I mean, it was coming down line already. Yeah.
This one's from Danny. He said, "Do you guys feel that J4 is still the biggest tournament of the year, or do you see others tournament taking over that spot?"
Honestly, if we had the funds when I was with our conference, I think I always heard about California. To me, it's a toss-up. I think California, they hold probably one of the biggest tournaments as well, but it'll be a toss-up. I mean, I don't know, because I've been to Minnesota so many times that I had really wished I would have gone to California to actually kind of see for myself that, is this the Mecca of Hmong volleyball here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in those young days, I trained with, that I believe in, had confidence.
Okay. Payne, you got any opinion on that? The biggest tournament, is it still J4?
The biggest tournament, just in general?
Yes. In general, Hmong volleyball, is it still the J4?
Yeah, for us, at least in the Midwest, I know the West Coast
Mm-hmm.
for them it's the Fresno New Year. That's their biggest one. But for us, J4 is the biggest one. Yeah.
Okay. We got one here from Brittany. She said, "What tournament on Hmong New Year down south impacted you the most?" I'm guessing is for Joe. What's the
tournament?
Yeah, the tournament. Which tournament down south that impacted you the most? I'm not sure what she means by that, but like I guess which one made. She said, "Which one impacted you the most?" Brittany, can you elaborate on that? Did you want more elaboration, Joe?
Yeah, just a little bit more elaboration because
yeah, Brittany, can you type again just a little bit more elaboration on that? Because Joe, man, he got too many volleyball in his experience, so he's like, man.
It was which one's the biggest? You think Georgia or NC?
Oh yeah,
Florida.
I mean, back then it was NC. NC was the biggest when I first moved down. The first.
That's the Thanksgiving week one, right?
Yeah, that's the Thanksgiving one where they have
Fly was there down there, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Fly and a bunch of guys from California moved there, North Carolina. Yeah, so yeah, I thought North Carolina was probably the biggest one when I first moved down south.
Okay. All right, we got another one here. Do you guys know the three brothers, Jeremiah, Joe, and Pia? Which one is the best from out of all those players, I guess?
Pia is the lefty, right?
No.
Pia's the lefty, right?
No.
Who's?
I think their lefty is Shiyi or something like that.
I think the lefty is the best. That's the oldest. So there's four brothers. There's Shiyi, there's Jeremiah, and then Joe, and then who's the youngest guy? What's his name?
Pia is the youngest, I think.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I would have to
the lefty,
go with Shiyi. So he's not on the list. I would go with Shiyi, but if I had to choose between the three younger brothers, I would go with Jeremiah. Yeah, I would go with Jeremiah.
Yeah, breaking hearts today. Who put that question up? Well, Joe.
Meng Xiong. I think he's the brother-in-law. He said.
Okay.
Okay. What about this one from Ty? He said, "What's the difference? What are your opinions? What's the difference between California team and Midwest teams?"
I think California teams are more orange. They're more that California teams are more of a real volleyball team, like HVB team, because they actually stick together longer than most teams in Midwest. Because honestly, you only have maybe 1-2 teams in Midwest that stay together. Everybody else is all mixed now, And every time you see a California team, when they come, they always come just dumb. They're actual real full squad.
Yeah. They and they're well, like the Hmong teams, they're more like old school. You know what I mean? Because they have a lot of old school players that translate the game to the younger kids. So they're very old school. Like they stick together, and But I know Cali teams, man. I for some reason, and maybe he can answer it. I think that's Tai Vu, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Bo's younger brother.
Ty also said you're not. No one's missing anything out in Cali, man. It's kind of boring out there.
but for some reason, for some reason, like even Primetime and MVP and Raven, they run that little shooter in the middle, and I only see that in Cali teams. I don't see that on Midwest teams or whatever, but they run that little shooter in the middle, and it's so effective for some reason. They just know how to hit it. But the thing is, Team Cali or Cali teams, they always come with a great setter. Obviously, they always come with a great setter, and their hitters, just the sound of the ball when they hit is different from the way Midwest players hit. Like you can feel the way I hit. that sound, that's how it sounds, like that full contact, you know what I mean? That slapping sound, and that's how it should sound, you know what I mean? So you can tell that they're very well schooled, whereas Midwest players are more like off the cuff. I'll just do whatever. I'll just try to cut the ball or whatever. But Cali players are more like cranking the ball, you know?
Yeah, it seems like man, I wouldn't say it's all West Coast and stuff, but I think more of their players are like you said, they're cranking the ball, like they're going in there swinging. Where I guess I'm not sure some of the players maybe have more in the Midwest. I don't know, but some of the players have a tendency to hit it closer to the net, so they're kind of like trying to cut it down.
Yeah, but Cali players, they're more accustomed to, and we had this conversation with Afu. They're more accustomed to seeing great talent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's a lot of high jumpers in Cali. So like when they hit, they don't hit on the net. They hit off the net and they crank the hell out of it. You know what I mean? Whereas in Midwest, you might just have one guy on each team that can jump with their head over the net. You know what I mean?
And they're putting it right on the net. So
right on the net. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. For sure. You try setting like that against a big team, man, it's over. They have your number. So you gotta
and that it's just my opinion and just my theory. And that's why I think NWO always struggled when they went to play July 4th, because they always hit that tight ball. You know what I mean? Especially that lob or that shoot outside, they always hit it very tight.
Yeah.
You know, and when you go up there, and you have teams like Cali teams that come in, if they come and play, all of them can jump either just like you or higher. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody from Cali that was here that couldn't jump.
Yeah,
everybody can jump, man.
Right.
Everybody can.
Right.
See, I don't think I see any more questions, man. My internet is kind of slow right now. Let me check it out real quick, man, fellas.
Yeah.
Give me a second, man. Let's see. Here's another one. What do you guys think? Let's see let me try to decipher this. What do you guys think would be the biggest factor to the decline of Hmong volleyball? So I guess trying to say, why is Hmong volleyball dying? Or what do you think the biggest factor that Hmong volleyball is not as popular? I think that's what I'm trying to, I think that's what I'm deciphering.
From what I see, I don't see a lot of veterans going out there helping out the young guys anymore. It's kind of like Hova's interview last night. You know, all the old guys are gone now. You know, our generation, not a lot of us are out there with the younger guys, bringing them up as well. So that's from what I see, kind of like what Hova said the other night.
Yeah, in my opinion, I
agree with that. I mean, and you know what? I think there's more outlets and more avenues now too for kids to do other things too. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Because
let's see. I think that's it, man. Yeah. Go ahead, Payne.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, I don't think Hmong volleyball is on the decline. It's in a transition. You know what I mean? I think it's transitioning into more of like the way it is right now. You know what I mean? Like it's just pick up and go play, or you know, we're friends, so let's just go play.
Pick a team.
Yeah. There's not going to be too many dedicated teams. You know what I mean? There's not going to be too many dedicated teams anymore, because like you said, there's a lot of outlets, but it is like Joe said, it is the generational pass down too. You know what I mean? Like I've and whoever looks up to me, if there's any, I've always taken that into account, the way I played and the way I carry myself and the way I go out there and do things, right? I never go out there and get drunk and show, because in my eyes, there could be a kid out there that is seeing Hmong volleyball for the first time, and I might be his favorite player. So if I'm drinking and just messing around, that's the impression that I'm leaving. You know what I mean? So I always, when I go play, I'm always serious. I'm always to the point. I'm always, you know what I mean? Like, I give the game respect, because the game is going to go and come and without, whether with me or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
the game is bigger. The game is bigger
right,
than the
right,
players.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you care about the game, then you should care about your impression that you're leaving. You know what I mean? You have to understand your stature, right? Like I'll give a good example. Allen Iverson, right? Allen Iverson was just himself. He was just himself to his own fault or detriment or whatever. He was just tattooed, cornrows and everything. And now you look at him now, he's very emotional because he understands that back then his stature was greater than what he actually realized at that point. Like all these guards nowadays, their favorite player was Iverson, and he's starting to realize that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
So,
I think he regrets not seeing that what he was back then. You know what I mean?
Well, he didn't take advantage of it.
Right. Right. He could have done so much more for the next generation. Yeah. Not saying that it's not good now, but I'm just saying I think in his eyes, he wish he would have understood the just the stature of you know where he was at. You know what I mean? So like never underestimate.
Man, that's an awesome point.
Yeah, never underestimate like what you do. Like especially as a top player, right? If you're the top player, there's more responsibility for you to set a tone. You know what I mean? So you can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna just go like I'm not gonna give up the conversation, but as a top player and as a top team, there's two things. You come in and you take out the best team, and there's another one. It's just like life. You go out gracefully. That's it. Right. You know what I mean? But if you keep prolonging and you keep drafting other players, you know what I mean? Then you're kind of destroying the game, not knowingly, but you're kind of destroying the game. You know what I mean? Right. And that's why the guys that I play with, the second generation of all conference, like I told them, I was like, you guys should change the name, because to some people, when they beat all conference, it's a big thing to them. So like I told one of the players, the younger player, I was like, and you're not ready for that. You know, you're too soft, or you're too young. You're not ready for that. I'm gonna come get you for your name. You know what I mean? So yeah,
man, I agree with you, man. Like just knowing your stature, and that's why we kind of made this platform, right? Payne, we kind of, you know, like for players currently, like for example, Hova, I'm glad that he's reaching out to the youth and trying to, you know, connect with the youth who look up to him. I think he's a player that kind of recognizes his, like, I don't know, like he's a winner. He's won. People look up to him, so he kind of recognizes that, and he's kind of, you know, passing on that message. I think for us, or for some people, they may look at this as we're just talking volleyball, and this is just volleyball. But sometimes, you know, this is actually like real life stuff where, you know, volleyball, you win, you lose, and there's like a lot of grit and there's a lot of overcoming within the game. And I think sports is that way, because sports, man, when you play sports, you fail so many times that you have to get back up and redo stuff. So it just teaches you how to, you know, maintain your character and build, you know, courage and all that kind of stuff.
That's why I kind of encourage people to come on, because, you know, for us, like old school, like Joel and us and all of us, we're so, there's a wall, you know, competitive wall that we always put up back in our days when we played. Like I've never talked with these guys, or, you know, I'll never share anything that I do with these guys, because there's a competitive wall that you put up, you know, because I'm gonna go meet them next tournament and beat them. And like for me to talk to Hua and you know, just all these other guys, it just let it go, man. You know what I mean? Like the game is bigger than our rivalry. The game is bigger than any of that. You know what I mean? Like
that's for
like
sure.
Like you come and go. That's it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you have to leave an impression on these younger guys, you know. So
man, how did we even get in this topic, man? But it's good.
Good.
What do you got drinking on, man? Jeez. But most definitely, I think it's more than just a game. It's actually a teacher of life.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just glad that, you know, some of these guys are willing to come on and share their story so they can transition over to the younger generation so they get a better understanding of, you know, where they came from and how they got to where they got. And that's the journey is the most important part. The winning and stuff, sure, it's good, but just the journey to get there, man, that's like, I love listening to those stories.
Yeah.
So,
and I had this conversation with one of the young guys, and he was speaking about Gur, right? And he was like, yeah, Gur tried to help me, and I just kind of shrugged him off and whatever. I was like, and I told him, I was like, well, Gur played a major part on, you know, to where I am, you know what I mean? And then he kind of took that and he was like, oh man, dude, I was like, I didn't even know, you know what I mean? And like I told him, I was like, you know, the best advice that I always got, you know, is not even anybody that plays, you know, it's usually the OGs that are telling you, don't on, like this is right, because they're objective, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they just see it how they see it.
They just see how it is, you know. And he was like, yeah, do you have any tapes of Gur and all that? And I was like, I was reluctant to tell him that I did, you know, I do know tapes of Gur and then when they were young, because, you know,
it's called VHS, dude.
Yeah, it's called VHS. But like I told him, I was like, if I put it out, you guys would just laugh. You know what I mean? Because you guys would just look at it and be like, the hell is this? Like, why is this dude doing a drop, like a jump kick in midair and spiking at the same time? You know, why is he landing and like, you know, like, why is he landing like that? But the thing is, these guys went off of nothing. They went off of nothing. They just went out there and just played. You know what I mean? And if you can't see all the little intricacies, then you're gonna miss out. You know what I mean? If you're just looking at how funny they look because they don't look like anything modern, that's just like me or like an NBA player ripping on Dr. J because he wore short shorts and couldn't dribble with his left or whatever. But if you look at the game and look at the way he played, the way he moved, you know what I mean? That you got to look at more than what meets the eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah, players like that, like you said, they were like ahead of their time.
Yeah.
You know, they're ahead of their time. So.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got any more questions? Any more questions from the audience? I think that's it, man. I think we're just talking to ourselves right now.
That's cool.
We're gonna roll back later and man, like me, Joe, and maybe Joe's wife just looking, man. Like
it makes for good content, though. No, that was, that's dope, man. That's dope. No, yeah. If you guys want to end it, we can end it right now, man.
Yeah,
like,
all good, man.
But thanks, Joe.
Anytime, man.
Thank you for your top 10 of top
Appreciate
5.
It, Joe. Man, hey, next time you guys don't lie to me like that, man. I'll say top 5. It came with 5. You all came with like 19 players.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck?
That's you fit 10 players in top 5 setters.
I was like, hell no, these dudes are crazy. I'm like, what?
You set a precedent, man. He set a precedent, dude. Like everybody that come on is gonna be like, man, I got like 20, man. I was just gonna name up 20. No.
Man, when Joe said, oh, okay, I got 2 lists. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. All right, cool, man. No, but for real, man, you just can't let these players, you know, you got to mention some of these greats, Joe.
Of course, you got to.
Thank you for putting those together, man. Especially from coming out of your mouth, man, because you are one of the all-time greats, man. And to name these players, man, it means even more when you mention these players' name because it carries more weight. You know what I mean?
Of course, man, it does. Well, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah,
no problem.
For even having me on your list, you know, because and when I really think about it, I don't have any titles. Like I don't I didn't really win a lot of tournaments. Maybe like one here and there, and that's it. But yeah, I don't really remember any first place. Maybe one or two somewhere, but don't really remember.
Yeah, I don't think we won too much, but I think we were pretty exciting in our attempt to winning. You know what I mean? Because we're always the underdogs. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah. Always the underdogs.
That's dope. It's dope catching up with Joe. Joe, thanks a lot for joining us.
Appreciate it.
No, man, thanks to you guys, man. Anytime.
CrossCourt Conversations.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Next episode.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Joe. Take care, man.
Yeah, you guys too. Take care.
Cool.
All right.